Hey everyone, today we are digging into the super fast, super fun puzzle game, Silver and Gold. So this is a really quick treasure hunting game for 2 to 4 players. And in this explainer, we're going to cover everything you need to know to get playing right away. Alright, so let's get right to it. What are you actually trying to do in this game? Well, it's pretty simple really. Your goal is to rack up the most points. And you'll be doing that by filling out these treasure maps and grabbing all sorts of valuable bonuses as you go. But first things first, we've got to get the game on the table. Let's talk setup. So to start, give everyone a scorecard and a marker. Then you're going to deal 4 treasure cards to each player. Everybody takes a look, picks the 2 they want to keep, and puts them face up. The other 2 just get discarded. Next, you shuffle all the treasure cards together into a draw deck. Go ahead and flip 4 of those face up to create the display. Then shuffle the 8 expedition cards to make their own little deck. And for who goes first? Well, it's whoever last went searching for treasure in real life. Okay, with all that set up, let's jump into how a round actually plays out. So the game itself is played over 4 rounds, and each of those rounds is made up of 7 turns. Now, here's the best part. Everybody plays at the same time. There is absolutely no downtime, which is awesome. Every single turn has the same 3 simple steps. First, you reveal an expedition card. Second, you cross off boxes. And third, you check for completion. Let's break down what that actually means. Okay, step 1. The first player for the round just flips the top card of the expedition deck. That shape you see? That's the shape that every single person at the table is going to use this turn. Now for step 2. Everyone at the same time is going to cross off boxes on one of their 2 treasure cards. The shape you cross off has to be an exact match to the one that was revealed, but you've got total freedom to flip it or rotate it however you need to make it fit. Now, this is a really important rule. What if you can't fit that shape anywhere? Or maybe you just don't want to? In that case, you must cross off any single empty box on one of your cards. You always have to mark at least 1 box. Now, as you're filling out your maps, you're going to see that some boxes have these little symbols in them. When you cross off one of those, you get an immediate bonus action, which is where the game gets really fun. Let's start with the X symbol. When you cross off a box with an X, you get to immediately cross off 1 more empty box anywhere you want. It could be on the same card or the other one. And yeah, this can totally trigger another bonus, which can lead to some really cool combos. Next up is the coin symbol. If you cross off a coin on your map, you immediately fill in the very next empty coin spot on your scorecard, working from left to right. And what about the palm tree? Well, when you cross off one of those, you score points right then and there. You get 1 point for the tree you just crossed off, plus 1 more point for every palm tree you can see on those 4 face-up cards in the middle of the table. You just add that total right to your scorecard. And that brings us to step 3. After everyone has marked their maps for the turn, you check to see if anyone's finished anything, either a whole treasure card or a row of coins on their scorecard. So if you manage to cross off every single box on one of your treasure cards, congrats, you've completed it. You set it aside to score at the end of the game, and you immediately grab a new card to start working on. You can take one from the face-up display, or just take a chance on the top card of the deck. Then, the display gets refilled back to 4 cards. And what about completing a coin row on your scorecard? Well, that gets you a trophy. You get to claim the highest point value that's still available on the round card, and you write that number down on your own scorecard. These points get lower as more people claim them, so being fast is a huge deal here. So after 7 turns have gone by, there's going to be 1 expedition card left. That's your signal that the round is over. At that point, you just shuffle all 8 of those expedition cards back together and get ready for the next round. Once you've played through all 4 rounds, the game's over. It's finally time to count up all that treasure and see who the winner is. Okay, so here's how you figure out your final score. You're going to add up the points from 4 different places. First, the point values printed on all your completed treasure cards. Second, all the points you got from coins and trophies on your scorecard. Third, your grand total from all those palm trees. And finally, you get bonus points for any seals you've collected. Whoever has the most points, well, they win. Now, before we wrap up, I've got one quick but really, really important tip you need to remember. Okay, so listen up. When you score a palm tree, the bonus points only come from the trees you can see on those 4 face-up cards in the middle of the table. Trees on your own cards or anyone else's cards do not count. It's a super common mistake, so just keep that in mind. And just like that, you know how to play silver and gold. So the only question left is, what treasures are you going to discover first?